Hello there and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you something very useful that will be a game changer to your work with Stable Diffusion. If you watched my beginner's tutorial, then you know that all the art in that video was created using only one model, the basic 1.5 Stable Diffusion model. And we got pretty good results. But what if I told you that there are countless other models out there? Models that were trained in specific ways to produce specific styles and concepts. Personally, when I discovered them, I just stopped using the basic model. So let me show you where you can get these models and how to use them. And afterwards, I will also demonstrate what results we get when we use the same exact prompt, but with different models. So if you didn't know, you can generate images with different models at the same time. But we are going to get to that in a moment. Now, there are probably many other sources to get models, but I will show you one website that contains a lot of models, and everything is of course for free. So this website is named Civit AI, and you can find a lot of different models over here. Now, if I scroll down, you will see that this list doesn't end. You basically have hundreds of different models, and these can be cartoonish, it can be anime, it can be photorealistic. You have all these blurred ones, and these are for adults, and that's just because people are perverted and they just want to create these kinds of images. But there's a lot of different kinds of models over here for basically any kind of image that you want to create, any kind of style. And now you may be wondering, well, there's so many of them, how do you know which one is better? And that's easy. Basically, at the top, you will see the ones that are highly ranked and the ones that have more downloads. I mean, this one has 400,000 downloads. This one has 100,000 downloads. And when we scroll down, we can see that there are 61,000 downloads, 34. So if we go to the bottom, you're going to find the newest ones and the less popular ones, let's say 7,000. Now, if you find a style that you like over here at the bottom, of course you can use it. But if you're not sure, you can just use the ones that have a lot of different reviews and a lot of downloads. Now, of course, you can also go into the model and check the different reviews and check the different examples that they have. So let's say we're going to create some kind of RPG image, and we have this model that is named simply RPG. Now we can see it has 34,000 downloads. So it's not the most popular, but it still has a lot of downloads. So if I click on this, we're going to see the page, we're going to see some information about the model, and over here we can find the official images that the creator of this model want to show you. So if we click here, we can see different things that this model can create, and that's actually pretty nice. If we scroll down, we can see different things that users have created, and we can also find reviews. So all of this was created by the users. Now, if you want to use this model, all you need to do is go over here and click on the download. Now you can find different versions, but you can always use the one of them. And if one is not working, then you can just download the other. Now I'm going to show you how to actually make it work. But before that, if, for example, you want to create something, for example, you want to create this image or something very similar. The good thing about this website is that you can find this little icon over here, and when you click on it, it will show you the actual prompts and the actual settings that were used to create this image. So if you're going to use this for a prompt, and you're going to use this for the negative prompt, you're going to use this seed, this sampler, all of this information, you're going to get something that looks very much like this thing. Now, it's not going to be exactly like this thing, but it's going to be very similar. And not all users add these. So you can see that here we don't have information, but most of them provide information, and sometimes the creator of the model also adds them. Now let's say we do want to download and use this RPG model. All we need to do is download this, and of course I already downloaded this, so you don't need to wait. After it's downloaded, all you need to do is copy the file and place it inside your Stable Diffusion folder. You go into Models, Stable Diffusion, and you place it with the rest of your models. So this is the standard place where you place all your models. Make sure to close Stable Diffusion, close the command line and reopen it, because sometimes it's not going to recognize these. So we can see that we have this RPG model over here, and let's go into Stable Diffusion. And if I click here, we can find this RPG model. So I'm going to click on it, and it's going to think a little bit, and then it's going to change the active model to be this model. Sometimes there is a visual bug that it changes, but you cannot see it here. So just refresh, and then you're going to see it over here. So let's open this. Let's find this image, and let's copy all of this information. So now we should get something very similar. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we got something similar. It's not exactly the same, right? Because even if it's the same seed, it will still create different variations. Now, if I was to put like 10 different generations and it would create more and more images, maybe one of them would look something like that, but it's really just a matter of spending time and finding what you want. Now let's say we want to create something more realistic, okay? Let's say we want to create this image over here, okay? So we get all of this information. So let's just copy all of this. And now we can just click and generate, and it will create something similar to this one. But as I told you, we want to see the difference, because if I'm going to use these prompts and this seed with this model, and I'm going to use it with another model, we are going to see the difference. So instead of just generating images with this model and then waiting and then generating with this model, there's actually a trick that you can use in Stable Diffusion. And with this trick, you can basically generate images using different models, but with the same prompts, and all of this will happen at the same time. So to do it, you go here to this section, to the script, and then you open the XYZ plot, and that's something I talked about in my beginner's tutorial. Now it's different. They also added this Z because we have a third option. So we need to select a type, and we want to select a different model. We want to create images with different models. So over here, it's not going to say models, it's going to say checkpoint name. Okay. Now I can also click on this, and it's going to paste all the models that I have. So we can see that I have all of these models. If you look over here and over here, so instead of you just copying these names, you can click on this and it will simply paste all of them. Now we're not going to generate this prompt with all of these models, but we are going to use this RPG one, and we're going to use the basic 1.5 model, and maybe we're also going to use another model that I like, this never-ending dream. So we're going to delete the rest of them, and we're going to leave them. So this is the way you just put the name of the model, comma, the name of the other model, comma, the name of the other model. And what will it do? It will basically create an image using each one of these models. Now I don't want to create 10 images, right? Because it's going to create 30 images, 10 for each model. So I just want to create one image for each model. Or if we really want to see the difference, let's create 2 images, and it will create 2 images for each model. So it's going to create 2 images using this model and using these settings, and then it's going to create two images using this model, the one that we downloaded, and then it's going to use the basic 1.5. You don't need to wait, let's see how it looks. So we got our results. And because we selected this draw legend, it also created a description for what model create which picture. So let's increase this, and we can see that with the never-ending dream, we got these two images. With the RPG, we got these ones. And with the basic 1.5, we got these one. Now it's not zoomed in, but you can definitely see the difference in quality. These ones definitely look more like the image we saw on the website, right? But they also look better. You can see the reflections, you can see the details compared to these ones. Let me show you the actual images. So we could create images with a high resolution, but I simply used the default 512 on 512, and we got some nice results. Now the point is not about the quality or the details. I could just increase the steps of the images and then it would create more detailed images. That was not the point. The point is getting a specific style, and we can see that this is more realistic. It actually looks like a person. You can see the reflections of the armor, and also over here you can see the skin. Although the face is not perfect, but we can always work on it and improve it. But over here it doesn't look realistic at all. It looks like some kind of illustration, maybe some kind of digital art. But we got the style that we wanted, and over here also it doesn't look really realistic, and that's the point of this model, that it does create realistic looking images, but it has its own style. Now we can go and we can still try other models and we can do whatever we want. There's so many options. Now some models focus on specific art styles and not on creating realistic or high quality images, but they focus on specific styles. For example, we have this thing here. This model creates this art style. So if we go inside, we can see that you can generate different images and they will all get the same style. There's also this model that creates Ghibli style images. So you can use different prompts and it will always create this kind of style. The possibilities are endless. You can just spend hours here and try different models out, but eventually it's all for a purpose. You want to have some kind of image, you have some kind of vision, and then you want to find something, some model that will help you create this image. Of course, sometimes you just want to mess around and create nice landscapes. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. In the future, I'm going to create more videos about Stable Diffusion, about AI art. So this way you can get updated, and see you next time.